All right, let's begin talking about the Bernd Schmidt book by looking at how Bernd introduces the topic of experiential marketing and what he believes in when he talks about experiential marketing. He starts off by talking about three trends that are driving us towards experiential marketing. The first is the omnipresence of information technology, the idea that information technology is everywhere, and as a result, it impacts all of our purchasing behavior. Second, he talks about the importance of the brand in a complicated consuming environment. This is an important notion and probably one of the things that makes experiential marketing more important today than ever before. As we go forward, there are more and more choices for us in every single product category. When you go to the store to buy oranges, you might end up buying Tangelos, and you might end up buying mini Tangelos. And then within the mini Tangelos section, you might find cuties. And as a result, if you think about this, in virtually every single product category, the alternatives and the choices and the brands that are available are greater and greater every single year. And as a result, brands become more important in an environment like that. And not only are the functional aspects of the brands important, but that is the brand personality and the brand experience is also then important. And then finally, he talks about the ubiquity of communications and entertainment. That is, the opportunity to get more information is so much greater today than it was even a few years ago. There's this stat that says something like the amount of information available on the web doubles every 6 months or 8 months or 9 months, something like that. Think about how much information is on the web and then it doubling every 6 or 8 months. It means that there are communications everywhere. When I was a child growing up, there were 3 networks. Now when you turn your TV on, you have 200 different stations to choose from, plus Netflix, plus Hulu, plus the Disney Channel, plus the Amazon bundle. And, oh, by the way, this thing called YouTube. And, oh yes, this thing called Google. He then goes on to talk about the difference between traditional and experiential marketing. In traditional marketing, the focus is on functional benefits and features. And so if you're thinking about buying an automobile, you think about things like the resale value of the automobile, how much it costs, the miles per gallon, the warranty and reliability, the safety. In experiential marketing, there is a focus on the functional features and benefits, but then also on the experience of owning and driving that automobile. Is it fun to drive? Remember the old Cadillac commercial that we played with Kate Walsh where she said about the Cadillac Escalade, the real question is, when you turn your car on, does it return the favor? That's an experiential pitch for an automobile. In terms of product categories, traditional marketers think of very narrowly of product categories. So when they think about automobiles, they think about automobiles that are in the same product category as the one that you're looking. So if you're looking at small sedans, what kind of competition do you have in the small sedan market? Well, there's the Honda Civic, and there's the Toyota Tercel, and there is the Ford Fusion, and there's the Chevrolet Malibu. But experiential marketers tend to think about that more from a consumption situation. And they don't think of competition as narrowly. They think in a much more broad term of things that can create the same experience. In the traditional marketing, customers are viewed as rational decision makers. They make decisions based on benefits, features, and costs. In experiential marketing, we think of customers as both rational and emotional consumers. Sometimes people just want to own that convertible. They know it's not practical. They know it is not as easy to care for. They know the insurance is higher, but they want the fun associated with owning and driving a convertible. Finally, researchers who do work in traditional marketing think about quantitative ways to look at consumers' markets and opportunities. That is why we now have in our undergraduate marketing or business curriculum a course called Business Analytics, which is all about the quantitative tools to investigate markets. On the other hand, experiential marketers look at all sorts of methods and tools, and in a category that is generally referred to as qualitative tools to look at customers' markets and opportunities. Bert likes to talk about the idea of flow. You've heard the term flow, I'm sure, before. Flow is the mental state of operation in which a person is fully immersed in what he or she is doing by a feeling of energized focus, full involvement, and success in the process of the activity. When we think of flow, we think of losing sense of time. This is often referred to when you spend time searching for something or looking something up on a computer where all of a sudden an hour has gone by. But it can happen anytime you are truly immersed in an experience. And Burnt likes to think about trying to create those truly immersive experiences that result in flow. Bert Smith's view on experiential marketing is a little bit different from Pine and Gilmore's. He refers to experiences as the private events that occur in response to some stimulation, typically provided by the marketer. In other words, the marketer needs to provide the right environment and setting for the desired customer experiences to happen or emerge. Bert likes to think about the before and after test. Before and after an experience, how are you physically changed? How are you mentally changed? And how are you emotionally changed? That is, what was the part of the experience that impacted you physically, mentally, and emotionally? And of course, like Pine and Gilmore, he likes to always focus on what's the memorable part. What do you want people to remember about the experience? Not the waiting in long lines, but the looks on the kids' faces when they get off the teacups ride at Disney. And then finally, Burnt likes to think about managing and marketing experiences is all about making them more immersive. And so he's interested in enhancing experiences. He's thinking about how do you make the performance of the product better in terms of the experience? How do you make the experience more entertaining? How do you make it more interactive? How about the educational content of the experience? How about making the experience more emotionally based? And how about the physical stimulation enhancement?